So last week I tackled an absolute beast of a project. So this week I would like to decompress and just make some fun, silly little crochet hair accessories. Okay, so I got these little like cheapo headbands from the craft store. So I'm thinking, you know those like influencer, like chunky, like Blair Waldorf-y headbands? That's the vision. Size 6.5 millimeter hook, headband, and some chunky yarn. Let's do a slip knot. I'm gonna wrap the yarn around the headband and just slip knot it through. And then I wanna make sure all of my stitches are on the flat part of the headband. And I'm just gonna keep wrapping the yarn around and making a bunch of slip stitches. And you can always like squish them together and just kind of like move things around so there's no black showing through. So this is looking good to me. I'm gonna fasten this off. I have some of these elastics and I'm just gonna attach them at the bottom of where my yarn ends, just so my yarn has something to grip onto and it will not slide off as easy. Okay, wait, I kind of messed up. I forgot that I wanted to do a second row, but I want a little bit more volume, so I'm just gonna attach my yarn to the base and just pretend that that never happened. Alrighty. I want to do like maybe like a scallopy, like bumpy situation. So the scallop goes 2 double crochets, skip a stitch, slip stitch, skip a stitch, 2 double crochets, skip a stitch, slip stitch, 2 double crochets, skip a stitch, slip stitch, 2 double crochets, skip a stitch, slip stitch, so on and so forth. Okay, when I reach the end, now I'm finally going to chain 1, fasten off. I'm going to hide all of my ends and kind of like try and mold the scallops a little bit so they're scalloping a little bit better. Can we just talk about this like thread match though? I'm gonna just put some pearls on here and really give this like a mermaid core moment. I've honestly never done this before, so hopefully it goes well. Boop, 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 boop. I feel so cute. It's so just like darling. The pearls really make it. And I don't feel like a little like baby doll. Like I feel really cute and gorgeous. I really like it. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna make one more just for fun. That's just a little more on the simple side. Same deal with this. I'm just wrapping the yarn around the headband and doing a slip stitch all around the headband, and then I also added elastics at the end as well, and then I'm only doing 1 row of this, so then I just fasten off at the end. I don't know if this is exactly my style. I think that the white color on like darker hair would look better, but this is just like cute if you want a little accessory, but you don't want it to like steal the moment. I don't hate it. I can't say I hate it. I'm very interested in bows and hair bows and putting bows onto everything that I own. I have an assortment of, bobby pins that will be lost forever. I'm never finding that ever again. This is what I'm going to be attaching the bows onto so I can attach them on my hair. I grabbed a size 4.25 hook, and honestly I was looking online for crochet bow tutorials and I didn't really like any of them. We're gonna wing it. I'm gonna use my mohair first. This isn't a cake, so I'm gonna take the center pull from one end and then the side pull from the other end, and I'm gonna double them up and use both ends together. The thing with mohair, especially doubling up mohair, is that if I mess up, I'm never gonna be able to untangle this. I want this particular bow to be like large, but more of like a fatter bow. Not like a long wispy bow. I want a good meaty bow. I never thought I would describe a bow as meaty. There's a couple different ways that you can crochet a bow. You can either crochet it in different parts and then you kind of like put the parts together, like you have the like flappy bits and then you have the middle bits and then you have the hanging bits, you know, the body of a bow. Or you could just crochet like a straight rectangle and then just kind of like hope for the best. I don't want a bow that looks like it's been like put through the washing machine 1,000 times and like run over by a car. I want like a nice professional looking bow. I'm gonna try a bunch of different things and just see what I like. This is 12 by 13, so I did 13 rows. I'm gonna get the look that I'm trying to achieve if I do it in different parts. This is going to be like the main bow, and then I need to make a little section that will like smoosh this together, and then I need to make the little doodads. So for the main rectangle of the bow, I chained 12 and I did 13 rows. And then for the like tails of the bows, I chained 6 and then I did 20 rows. And then for the smallest middle rectangle, I chained 6 and I only did 5 rows. So I decided the best way to go about this was to seam up the ends of my smallest rectangle, and that will make kind of like a sausage casing for the rest of the bow. So after I seamed that up and made a little cylinder, I then scrunched up my largest rectangle, and then I just tried to get it in my little sausage casing and pull it through, and then make sure it looked nice and make sure everything was even and everything was centered. And then the next part was to pull through the little tails, and I used a hook to help pull my longest rectangle through. And then after everything was in place, I'm just gonna finagle with it like usual, make sure everything looks good, and then I'm just going to add my little bobby pin, and that's how I'm gonna fasten it in my hair. Okay, I will say that this piece is definitely my favorite. This piece in particular will get a lot of compliments. I want one in every color of mohair that I have. Really not complicated. Everything is just rectangles. I mean, the power of rectangles, you know? I feel so cute. I'm thinking for the next bow, I want it to be really long and on the skinnier side. I would like to just make one giant rectangle and call it a day. I'm gonna use my 4.25 hook, and then I'm using this, I don't even know what color this is, like golden color? I really don't know how to describe this color. I'm not even gonna count my chains, but I will tell you what the length is when I decide. So right now, I'm chaining the entire length of the bow. This is about like 27, 28 inches. That should be fine. Should I do a slip stitch or should I do a half double crochet? Will I hate my life less if I did a half double crochet? Yes, I will. Let's do a half double crochet. Anyway, while I have you here, let's just chat for like a hot second. Lately, I've been getting some comments like, I made this tutorial exactly like how you did, and it's way too small, or it's way too big, or something like that. And here's the thing. I like to say that I'm an intuitive crocheter. So that's why with a lot of my videos, maybe I won't give a specific stitch count, but I always try and give the measurements that I'm using. That being said, things that I make for myself and the measurements and the stitch count that I use for me might not be the same for you. You know, that's why I like to give measurements, because you could be using a slightly different size hook than me, or you could be using different yarn than me. You could have a way looser or tighter tension than I do. I definitely encourage people to not do exactly what I do something different, do something unique, and then just take whatever measurements I've given you and apply it to whatever you're doing. I feel like there's a lot of people that like the numbers and like the stitch count and like the very, very nitty-gritty specifics, and I just don't, and that makes crochet not fun for me when I'm constantly counting stitches all the time. Especially when I first started to learn how to crochet, so many tutorials were so big on stitch count, and then if I was one stitch off, I would want to like completely start over until I got it exact. That's just not really that fun, in my opinion. So I try and keep my tutorials fun, and I try and give relevant information. I always answer comments if you have any questions or concerns about my tutorials. And I also am not trying to go over the basics with you guys. For me personally, if I'm watching a crochet tutorial, I don't really want to watch 10 minutes of someone explaining to me how to do a double crochet. That's why I feel like I have to say this, because I feel like my tutorials aren't always for beginners, you know. I'm gonna use a lot of crochet terminology, and you should know the crochet terminology before you get up in here. I just like to make the videos that I personally want to see on YouTube. So I think I'm just gonna do 2 rows. I think that's like the perfect amount of thickness. Awesome, I'm gonna finish up this row and focus a little bit, and I'll be right back.
Okay, this is me just like trying different methods of tying this into a bow. I think I retied this bow like 10 times and like I wanted to get it to be perfect and not look sloppy, you know? After I got the bow that I decided was the best, I put my little bobby pin in the back so I can fasten it to my hair. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I like the color. I think it looks good in my hair. I don't know, the Pinterest girlies have been wearing these like skinny little bows, and like who am I to tell the Pinterest girlies what to do? I feel like it took me so long to like get the bow to look perfect, and I feel like it still doesn't look perfect, and maybe that's just like my Virgo energy. Like I need to let that go. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. All right, the last accessory that I'm gonna make are more bows, but these bows are gonna be nice and little. I'm gonna use this like beautiful pink color yarn. It's just an acrylic yarn from the craft store. And these are just gonna be little bows that you can like throw into a braid or a pigtail or a ponytail. I'm gonna use my 4.25 hook. And then I think I'm just going to single crochet, just a regular single crochet. Let's see, so I chained 9 and then I did 5 rows. So I have just like this little mini rectangle. I'm gonna just snip off a whole bunch of yarn, cinch it down the middle like this. And then I'm just going to tie this off. I have these like little itty bitty bobby pins. I'm just gonna slip it through the back like so. I don't know if you can see them, but you can definitely hear them. There are chickens amongst us. They're very rude and interruptive, so that's what I'm working with here. I definitely think that these fall into the category of like cutesy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I also think that these would look really cute as just like little embellishments. So cute. Like, that's cute. I like that. Will I be wearing them in my hair? Maybe if my hair was like in a bun or if they were a different color. I feel like they're a little cutesy for me, but overall I like them, and I think that they're really cute, just like embellishments to put on your purse or on like your belt, or you know what I mean? Just cool. It's just cute. I like it. Thanks for hanging out with me. This has been a very fun day, a very productive day. I loved just doing a bunch of little projects. I feel very accomplished, and I'm so excited to put bows on everything that I own, as I think everyone should. So thanks for watching. Totally subscribe and like this video. Leave me a comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.